What's up, ladies and gents? I'm back again, and I basically want to talk to you guys about the Cardi B concert. And I really wasn't gonna have no words for it, but you just kind of notice things, and you just want to put some information out there. Hopefully, it could help somebody. Um, yeah, it's on the lines of really, understanding that like the hate is real out here. Like, you know, uh, Cardi B is a artist, an entertainer, and I personally necessarily don't maybe like or agree with, maybe all of her content. You know what I'm saying? As such, I don't necessarily involve myself personally to see what this artist is doing. You hear certain lyrics and you hear certain, what I'm saying, you see certain music, videos and stuff that you may certainly not necessarily agree with. Everybody has their opinion. Everybody, you like something or you don't, or you may be inquisitive about something, and you turn a channel. But you just for like if you don't like somebody, now I'm not necessarily saying that I dislike Cardi B. She is talented. You know what I'm saying? She can rap very good. I believe so. And then like basically like it's not. Sometimes it's the person character and how they sound. You know what I'm saying? And basically, they rap lyrics. They have their own personality. You know what I'm saying? And it's more of the the personality and character that comes over that connects with the fan, or the viewer. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have some people that like you. You're gonna have some people that's not gonna like you, and you're gonna just have some people who just not gonna know of you or even care about it. But at the same time, if you don't like somebody, or if you jealous of somebody or you hate somebody, just it makes sense to, why would you go to a person concert you don't like personally, like just me, like if I try my best to love everybody I can, and necessarily I know that I'm not gonna like everybody, and I know necessarily everybody's not gonna like me. And you get to a point in life you recognize things are not going to be 100% the way you expect them to. You see what I'm saying? But why would you go to somebody concert you don't like? Or I wouldn't go to anybody concert I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Or attend at anybody's show, you know what I'm saying, I may not feel comfortable with, or I don't like their music, or I don't like them as a person necessarily. People go out their way to, you know what I'm saying, feel free to invade someone else's privacy that they don't like, or they have something against that person. Sometimes you may not think it's something there, but then when you see them in person and you close up on them, then then the hate get real. Sometimes that woman that threw, well, it was juice or water, that was very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, if you don't like somebody, that don't mean you have to do that to them. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's easy. It's just like, just like I like to say all the time. You know what I'm saying? There are different channels in life. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like one channel, go to the next channel. You know what I'm saying? There's something you do like. Go attend. And I know some people get invited. I know some people just say, oh, it's a chance, it's an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Cool. But then some things you keep to yourself. If you feel some type of way about somebody, that don't mean necessarily you can do anything to anybody, especially like when you go overseas. Sometimes some people have their own terminology about who you are, and they feel like that they can, what I'm saying, they have access to you. You know what I'm saying? Just because maybe because of what the tabloids or what's you know what I'm saying, what's going on out there about you or what's on the internet, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. There's no privacy whatsoever. So I mean, you know, that could have been just like one lady I saw on was talking about on YouTube that you know it could have been some acid or it could have been something bad like some certain celebrities y'all that gotta be more mindful on you know even though I know you open to the public at some point, but then when you do these concerts you gotta be more mindful necessarily, you know, how you govern yourself and how you protect yourself because I I don't understand like some of these rappers, you know what I'm saying, like they'll go to do a concert and they'll have on $15,000 chain, 100,000. You around people and people looking at that. You know what I'm saying? They stop looking at you, and then some of them start looking at the chain you wearing or what you sporting. They want to try to take the chain. They stop necessarily paying attention to you, and they looking for a quick. You know what I'm saying? Come on, I can steal the person chains. Like, why would you go to somebody concert and you trying to take something from them? Like, did you know what I'm saying? Like me personally, like I don't think I hate anybody. You know what I'm saying? Look, jealousy is a human emotion. You know what I'm saying? When it gets to jealousy, it means that necessarily you you don't want the other person to have what they have. Now, here's the difference. There's a difference between like some people think hate can hide behind love. Let me tell you something. Hate can never hide behind love because it's not love then. You know what I'm saying? You love somebody or you hate them. One it's no in between. Like you love them if you like somebody. You know what I'm saying? There's different levels, conditional love. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes love can be conditional. Well, I like this person because they this or because they have that. You know what I'm saying? Because they got this. You know what I'm saying? So then a lot of times that love can be conditional, but you also got to understand too that if someone hates you, that it that love can't hide behind hate. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It can't be the same thing. It can't be behind one. If somebody faking like they like love you or whatnot, then they really don't love you. They hate you. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody can say, "Well, they really actually love you," or they hate you. No, that don't make sense. So then, love can't hide behind hate, and hate can't hide behind love. You know what I'm saying? So it's one or the other. I don't I don't like necessarily when people try to make your love hate because people operate necessarily from a place of of self awareness or self being, which can lead to or a level of arrogance that lead. I'm not talking about confidence, but a level of arrogance that say, okay, you have to if you loving me or if I'm loving you, I gotta hate you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too much like right. You know what I'm saying? Because you base your significance off necessarily people hating you and not loving you. You know what I'm saying? So it's one other order. Just because somebody's there at the concert supporting you, don't mean necessarily they there because they like you or they there because they like your music. You see what I'm saying? So even celebrity or even entertainers have to be more mindful of necessarily no matter who you are. I know you around people and you want to show your fans that you love them and you trying to give them your content or what you work really hard for. And Cardi B, I don't necessarily agree with certain things, but at the same time, that's how she make her money, and that's how artists make their money. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the side by doing concerts and going to certain and touring. You know what I'm saying? So then, security got to be more mindful and more, you know, aware of what's going on, because these people at these concerts, they running on stage. You know what I'm saying? uh Goldberg and folk. You know what I'm saying? Like got Goldberg, who was Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? Folks doing like all kind of crazy stuff. And I'm not trying to say all celebrities are just fantastic. You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm not saying they all bad, but I'm saying that some of these people in these crowds, you know what I'm saying? They not necessarily there because they love you. They there sometimes to, you know, kind of let's say examine what's going on, or to find something wrong, or they do something to cause something to happen, you know, because they don't actually really, you know, like you or love you, because the love is fake. Or it ain't. Well, if it's fake, then it ain't real love. So, but it's not real love. You know what I'm saying? It's superficial. You know what I'm saying? So, then, like, it's just with anything that you do and you operate. Like, I try to personally, I try to put myself, around people that you most certainly, uh, you care about, and they care about you. But I know when you working, or when at a job, sometimes you have to deal with people necessarily don't like you, and some people will try you at your job or why you doing what you do, because they think necessarily that's going to stop you from being able to continue to do your work, or that can hinder your job, like especially in a lot of customer service. Stuff like, hey, people will cuss you out, and you still got to have a smile on your face. You don't know what you've been through or what necessarily that person went through. And I'm not saying all people that's in customer service are right. Sometimes they maybe not don't listen or don't care, want to get off the phone with you. So I mean, it can go both ways. But at the same time, people think that they can do stuff to you on your job because that's your liability. You know what I'm saying? That's the way you make your money, and you won't retaliate because necessarily you trying to keep your job, or you trying to keep you know uh, trying to keep your financial uh, uh, foundation. You know what I'm saying? And then people will try you. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't care. They like, hey, forget this job. Like, hey, if we do something to me, I'm gonna fire back on you. And then that's what Cardi B did. Cardi B was like, hey, I don't care. You just threw something on me. You don't get to disrespect me. Threw it. She threw that microphone out, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? We get it. You know what I'm saying? That's because sometimes people gotta recognize that, you just because, I'm up here entertaining you. You know what I'm saying? You don't just get access to me just to throw something on me. You see what I'm saying? Which is very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And just because necessarily you don't like somebody don't mean you get to disrespect them. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people that you may not like. And there's a lot of people that may not like you, but then you should always be respectful to people. Especially if they doing you a service, or they doing something, or they didn't do anything to you. I mean, did Cardi B do something to her? No. You know what I'm saying? After the fact, she reacted to what happened to her. So, you know what I'm saying? On both sides, you got to be mindful. And it's it's the point that you want to go out your way for fans. You know what I'm saying? And you want to show them. But then, in reality, as a black woman, Cardi B, or actually, she may not just identify as a black woman because she's also Latino too as well. But but at the same time, it be other women doing stuff to it. Sometimes it don't even be the man. You know what I'm saying? It be other women jealous of you. It be other women trying to stop you from being in relationships. It be other women necessarily trying to keep you from necessarily being a woman that you need to be. So sometimes, I remember OJ Duke Jackson, he was said, which made really sense, and my shout out goes to him because he was right. You know, women biggest problem is not men, it's other women. You know what I'm saying? And then men biggest problem is not with women, it's other men. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're dealing with the manosphere, as far as we know it, is that the reason why women can do what they do, necessarily, especially in the feminist world, is because of other men, who allow them to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So then other men necessarily have to deal with the masculinity or the simp nature of other men. So their issue is not necessarily with other women, even though they don't like how you know what I'm saying certain women operate, what I'm saying, or move. Their issue is with other men because if they retaliate or they say something about it, then necessarily other men come to their defense. You know what I'm saying? So then necessarily you're not fighting women, you fighting the structure that protects women to allow them to be out of line. You see what I'm saying? Because people can take your people can take the proper structure that you have that or that you inspire to point out that certain what I'm saying certain groups should have, and then there's another group necessarily that retaliates because they want to be in control or allow people to operate how they want to operate. You know what I'm saying? And you got to fight against that. So it's the manosphere as far as dealing with feminists is mostly not with women, it's with also men too. You know what I'm saying? So but you gotta, with that whole Cardi B situation, there wasn't no man necessarily who did that. That was another woman. You see what I'm saying? So then you gotta understand that jealousy mentality, that emotion comes from a feminine type of emotion. So it's not, even though men can be jealous, you know what I'm saying? That emotional trait more solely comes from a feminine type trait. That's why a lot of men in terms are necessarily have that feminine trait when it comes to that emotional trait of being jealous, or they operate in their emotions because a lot of them have been raised by women. So even though they look masculine and try to move in a masculine or move in a masculine way, they still operate in a feminine emotional type of context. You see what I'm saying? So then women being naive may see them, even though he feel masculine, even though his outer appearance is masculine, necessarily he has a emotional feminine, you know, spirit. You see what I'm saying? What? Because necessarily he don't have a balance of understanding the other side of real masculinity. And real masculinity also have necessarily a soft side to it. You know what I'm saying? There are soft skills that comes with masculinity that people may think that is you know kind of weak, or they think is cowardly like. But no, there's a lot of soft skills that comes with masculinity that you gotta have, because actually as a man you are really dealing with trying to control your emotions, because a real man know how to control. Just because a man cry, you know what I'm saying, does not necessarily make him weak. It's a human emotion. You know what I'm saying? So, but men who in the manosphere who are logical, because most men think logical, they do not operate necessarily by their emotions. You know what I'm saying? But then even women, most of the women, in so many cases are not raised by men. So they don't see that side of men. They only see a fabricated, false narrative, which is negative, that comes with having an imbalance. So the women become more too masculine. Why? Because their mother is so called necessary. Oh, you got to be strong, and it's a mindset, a mindset that keeps you protected. So you have to be independent. You know what I'm saying? You have it's a lot of things that come with that strong mentality. You know what I'm saying? You have so I said all that because it boils down to being able to control your emotions. You see what I'm saying? So then when you around people who are naive, that don't understand you or don't like you, they don't have the wisdom enough to not be around you. I'm one of those type of people. I'm not trying to be around people I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be around people. I don't hate anybody. So then necessarily, I'm not perfect. So then, emotions, you could be jealous of somebody, but then jealousy really actually means that you don't want the person to have it. Now, envy, you want that person hurt behind, you know, uh, because you envy that person. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's worse when someone is closer to you and envy you. You know what I'm saying? Now it's different when you don't really want to idolize somebody. The only person you need to idolize is the person in your creator. You see what I'm saying? But I understand. You like Kobe didn't necessarily idolize Jordan, but Kobe respected Jordan. And he saw something in Jordan that he wanted in himself. So people would think just because you necessarily reverence them and so, at some level that oh he gotta hate me because he trying to be me. Nah, I ain't trying to be you. Maybe it's something in you that is good that I want for myself too. But that's not necessarily trying to take your spot or take what you have. I don't think Kobe was trying to be Jordan. You see what I'm saying? Because, Jordan told him, you would never fill his shoes. You would never fill his shoes. And maybe at some extent he was right because can't nobody be more like Jordan than Jordan. It would never be another Jordan. You see what I'm saying? The only thing close to Jordan is Kobe, I believe. So what I'm trying to say is that there are certain people you respect enough to hey. I respect you, and a lot of times when you're dealing with celebrities, they'll tell you, "Well, I came to this celebrity and I was trying to that I show this person, and then that other person like disrespected them." And he was like, I really reverence you. I really respect you as a person. I'm not just a fan. You know what I'm saying? And then they become successful, and then that other person had to come to me like, I ain't never thought that you would ever become successful in that way. Why? It's because a lot of times, celebrities deal with fake people. You know what I'm saying? Or deal with people who get caught up in the fame or get caught up in the superficialness, and they don't know necessarily really what's really going on with them or what's really going on with their lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So then people see what they have and people see what they get, but they don't see the person. They don't see who the person really is. You know what I'm saying? Or what that person had to go through to get there, or what who that person really is behind all the makeup and all the scenery. So when a person comes to you like, hey, you ain't nobody, you don't care, you just see me for who I am. So then anybody can just do anything to you because they don't value you as first as a human being. I may not agree with everything Cardi B does, but then first you got to understand she's a human being. You know what I'm saying? She is a person. You know what I'm saying? So then you have to treat people just like they just a normal person. You see what I'm saying? So then you shouldn't necessarily idolize somebody. You should respect them. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if they a celebrity or not. If they just a common person on the street, if they just homeless. That don't mean just because they homeless you get to disrespect them. Now I know some people can get on your nerve and be asking for things necessarily they not willing to do. You can help them or you cannot help them. It's your choice. But then just because someone is not successful in life don't mean that you can disrespect them, and just because somebody is successful in life don't mean you can disrespect them. You see what I'm saying? And just because you dealing with somebody that's successful and you not don't mean you hate them. and don't mean that you want what they got. You know what I'm saying? But I see a lot of times in our own community, that wasn't a white woman who threw that at Cardi B, or another Latino woman that do that. Or another necessary there was another person of almost the same race. You see what I'm saying? Or closer to their race. You know what I'm saying? That some of your own people are disrespected. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that if it was a predominantly European crowd that some woman wouldn't have did it or somebody else wouldn't have did it. I'm just saying that as black women and men, we go out our way to hurt each other. You see what I'm saying? So what do that look like? So then, first of all, for Cardi B, she not gonna be looking for another European necessarily to be doing something. She gonna be looking at her own people. That's why a lot of us don't go in our same hoods, because first of all, we kill our entertainers, as far as especially if they rappers. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I understand necessarily what somebody is saying. You see what I'm saying? You got real gangsters, and then you got entertainers. You see what I'm saying? Some gangsters can be entertainers because they talented enough to be able to do the music. You know what I'm saying? Say what they have to say. And then you got some people necessarily, they have to live, they have to fake that lifestyle so they can get views, and you know what I'm saying, they got to look the part. You know what I'm saying? So some people don't know the difference between just someone being an entertainer and somebody really actually being a real gangster who entertains. You know what I'm saying? So then, Cardi B can actually be one of, hey, she can get it up with you. She don't care. She was like, hey, and then necessarily, you don't got to be gangster to be no entertainer. You know what I'm saying? You entertaining people. It's not necessarily about hurting nobody or killing nobody. You giving someone a service. You see what I'm saying? But that woman threw something on her, which is very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? She made out mean. She was like, hey, I'm going to throw something. Maybe you know what I'm saying? That person knew what they was doing. But even if she was kind of naive about it and just felt like, it won't hurt. It's just some water or some ice or whatnot. You don't get access to necessarily, you know what I'm saying, to someone basically just because they a celebrity or just because they somebody that's known. You see what I'm saying? So then they also have to set boundaries too. You see what I'm saying? And then, they have lives too. You know what I'm saying? So then I know they get tired of the paparazzi. They get tired of people always coming. And secretly, sometimes I believe they really want to just be normal. Sometimes they get so tired of it. You see what I'm saying? But then I'm just saying just from a general standpoint. You see what I'm saying? So then we got to understand that there are levels to how we treat people. You know what I'm saying? Regardless on what level you are on. So just because Cardi B is a celebrity and you just at her, you know what I'm saying, so-called concert, don't mean that you can just, you know what I'm saying, disrespect somebody by throwing something on them. You know what I'm saying? So then celebrities got to be more mindful. And which I know they are. Because, and people would think just because you are a celebrity, that's what you get because, you know what I'm saying, you doing yada, 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 X, Y, and Z because people think it's gone. That's not always true. You know what I'm saying? People move off of hate. People move off of jealousy. You know what I'm saying? And people are like that. You know what I'm saying? So you would be naive to think necessarily everybody's for you, and I know maybe Cardi B don't think that, but then she had a right to throw that mic at her. You know what I'm saying? Or she could have necessarily had somebody else to do. But then also like another little thing with who was it? Dang, I can't remember her name. You know what I'm saying? She had that song. She did that song with Brandy. The boy is mine. You know. She did it with Brandy and I can't think of her name. Monica. Okay, Monica. Alright? Like, I like Monica too. She can sing really well. You know what I'm saying? She been in the game for a while, and she do concerts. That's how they make their money on the side. They go, you know, after they, almost finished doing their whole albums, and what I'm saying, over years, and they go tour. And just like Usher doing his thing, they tour. You know what I'm saying? Going across the world, they go across America and overseas. Where they real well respected. For their music, and they entertain, and they go, and they, sometimes they do. They sell out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't. But the case may be, like, I think she really wanted to show like she cared, which there is a human side to certain people who are elevated. You know what I'm saying? So they want to get in the crowd. They want to show you, like, I got some humility enough to what I'm saying, deal with people that's in the crowd, because I want to be around my friends. I want to show the people, like, hey, I'm not just so high and mighty. Like, I can come down where you are and show you that I care. But then you got to also understand necessarily, when that woman got hit by the man, you can address that. You know what I'm saying? But then you don't have to go down. You got people around you to, protect you. You know what I'm saying? So women shouldn't be, involved in disputes like that. I don't necessarily think that we don't know we don't know the reason why he hit her. He shouldn't be hitting no woman. You see what I'm saying? But then we don't know necessarily what women do to get hit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she could have had a knife or something. You don't know. I don't think that was possible, but I'm just saying hypothetically, when is it okay to hit a woman? You see what I'm saying? So then the gray line, the fact necessarily because he did it is wrong. You see what I'm saying? So we don't really go into detail properly to understand the different scenarios of when it's okay, but we don't talk about this. You know what I'm saying? And it's not okay to hit a woman. But then we need to teach women also as little girls how to respect men. And then also, and when you have fathers in the home, you know what I'm saying, that kind of helps too, because they kind of understand necessarily, because they understand the other side. They understand the soft side of masculinity and the hard side. Because men are hard on that, are supposed to be tough on the out, but soft within. Women aren't necessarily, they soft on the outside, but they tough within. So it's, you know what I'm saying, you have to understand necessarily that dichotomy. You see, so her support, or her bouncers, or whoever that was there, should have just went down and, hey, nah, you stay up here, you get back, we'll handle it. You know what I'm saying? You don't let somebody you protect and go down, because you don't know what people will do. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if that dude got a gun or something. You know what I'm saying? I know some people, they go through metal detectors and do pat downs and stuff like that, but still, you don't know the skill set of people, or what they can do, or what they are able to do. So then you are artists. You are why the people there. So then you don't necessarily go down there and be trying to fight nobody. You know what I'm saying? Even though maybe you can do something. You see what I'm saying? Because you have to continue to do what you do. You have to continue to do, and then, like, it's okay to be somebody you can touch. If you love people and you're doing something, yes, you want to be touched. I mean, Christ was a whole nother different person. The woman with the issue of blood touched him on the ground. With so many people pulling at him, she crawled and touched him, but he could be touched. Why? Because he chose necessarily to do that. He didn't want to be somebody that was, isolated away from people that he loved. You know what I'm saying? And you can love people so much, when you get in the crowd, everybody in the crowd ain't gonna love you and like you. You know what I'm saying? And I know he knew that. But then I'm just telling you the different dichotomy, because everybody ain't Christ. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not Christ-like. So I'm not saying just because you ain't him that, you know what I'm saying, or you don't have a love for people and you can't mingle around people. But then people have hidden, agendas. People have, people have, they have different motives. You see what I'm saying? So, but then, as a woman, you shouldn't be arguing necessarily with a man. What if you know a man physically can hurt you? You know what I'm saying? I believe there are certain things you have to be mindful of. I know that you got a voice that you can speak. I know that you can defend yourself in so many ways. And I know that you have to show that you're strong, and you have to show that you're independent, and you have to show that you can take it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, as men, we have to be also more sensitive to necessarily not trying to be physical with women, but then women will also play a victim too. You know what I'm saying? Even when they the perpetrator. You know what I'm saying? But and then it's easy to blame the man because he retaliated. You see what I'm saying? So then we don't know the full story, and we don't understand necessarily all the details. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not condoning men to hurt women at all in any type of way. But then sometimes if a man don't hit you back or don't do anything, he considered weak. You know what I'm saying? Or if he don't do anything or he don't defend himself, he considered weak. But damn if you do, damn if you don't. So then if he do, oh, you less than a man, you just hit a woman. But then we don't know. But some people, everybody ain't raised the same way. Some people talk, if a woman hit you, you hit her back because she was willing to go step over a line. You know what I'm saying? To be a man. So she get hit by a man. Some men are taught, hey, you never put your hands on women. So everybody don't have home training. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have the correct home training. And everybody don't have the same home training. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's hard to differentiate what's the right training and what's not, because everybody is different. You see what I'm saying? The thing is to talk about when it's okay to hit a woman. You know what I'm saying? Or that's kind of hard to talk about because there's, you know what I'm saying? Do you hit her when she got a knife in her hand? If she got a gun trying to shoot you, you hit her. If she puts something in her hand trying to hurt you, that's a weapon now. You know what I'm saying? So if that weapon can puncture you or kill you, then do I have the right to hit her? You know what I'm saying? Or if she don't have that in her hand, and I'm not hitting her back and she popping me all up upside my head, can I contain her? You know what I'm saying? Can I just hold her to stop her? Like what? Can I just smack her a little bit? Like what's the lines? What you know what I'm saying? What is okay? And that's kind of hard and difficult for men sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because then we have to really restrain ourselves because we know she know necessarily she physical and she got not only just men, other men around. She got a whole system that'll protect her and she can play a victim. You know what I'm saying? So then, I don't think it's okay for Monica to just jump down. I know she probably cared, and condone. She for women. I'm not saying she not for men, but these people at these concerts getting out of hand. You see what I'm saying? They had no respect for the entertainer. They had no respect for the people who are there. You know what I'm saying? And most of these people are the people of our culture. You know what I'm saying? So then we have a problem mentally, having a mental illness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here. Now I know, sir, I'm not trying to compare us to European people. They get out of here and they go to these rock stars. They be jumping and doing waves and stuff like that. But then when you see somebody jumping up there, I mean, you see at some of these shows that they'll get up there, you know what I'm saying, and bother necessarily the and they get the bottom of the entertainer and they get knocked out or somebody will push them off or somebody will do something else crazy because you don't know what people will do, and people will do anything. So then celebrities, be mindful. If you're entertainer, be mindful of other people. That don't mean you get to just because you celebrity and someone close to you or someone, you know what I'm saying, confront you that they trying to hurt you. But then that's why you supposed to have experienced bodyguards. You know what I'm saying? To know the difference between necessarily somebody who's aggressive and trying to do something or somebody who's not. And you gotta pay attention to all that, you know. So that's why Cardi B threw that mic. She should have got hit in the head with that mic, because you don't do nothing to nobody like that. Especially if they trying to give you a service and trying to entertain you. You just messed up her whole. You know what I'm saying? You messed up her whole concert, because and you mess up everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's trying to experience something. You see what I'm saying? And that's not right, because then you put people in a different light than, you know what I'm saying, than what they really wanted to be in. So that don't mean anybody get away from life just because they a celebrity or if they not. We all have to go through certain things that we deal with in life. So, you know, regardless if you here or regardless you there, it's still supposed to be respecting somebody. You don't get to shit on somebody. You don't get to do treat somebody in any type of way just because you here. You know what I'm saying? You know, and just because you here necessarily don't mean, and somebody here don't mean you have access to hurt them or you know, do something to them. So, you know, respect. Respect goes both ways. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happened. You know, and as soon as she threw that stuff on Cardi B, what she threw the mic at her. She instantly got disrespected. You know, and it's harder sometimes. Everybody move different. If somebody would have did that to me, I probably would have thought about it. You know, but everybody not like me. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have turned the other cheek, but everybody not like me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody necessarily don't move like that. You know, maybe there is a time where I maybe will retaliate, but then you know, you I have to trust God. You know what I'm saying? Some people trust God for their moves because they, you know what I'm saying? They like, hey, if I wasn't saved, you know what I'm saying? Or if I ain't had to love God in my heart, I'd be crazy. I'd be a tyrant. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes it take humiliation. I mean, not just humiliation. It take humility. You know what I'm saying? It takes being humble enough to not care what people think. You know, even if you move in a, like, I turn the other cheek and just keep walking. You know, sometimes it's best to, you know, not retaliate and keep walking. You know what I'm saying? Just like, okay, I give you that one. But if you do something to me again, you know, if God tell you, I might not turn the other cheek. It just depends, you know. You know, but then, you know, you sometimes you have to retaliate and let people know that you can't be played with. You know what I'm saying? Because people will continue to bully you. You know what I'm saying? People continue to push your buttons. People will continue to do stuff to you. And sometimes it's harder to have restraint. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's easier to, you know, lash out. You know, but then sometimes you have to give a person an eye, you know, an eye for an eye. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because if you don't, some people will continue to bother you. Some people will continue to disrespect you. You see what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily that people always want to move out, or because there is a world where they allow bullies to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're a celebrity, I mean, don't mean that you can't be bullied. A lot of celebrities and a lot of people up here get bullied. You know, and get bullied too. So just because you're up here don't mean that you can't get bullied, or don't mean that, you know, there ain't nobody out there trying to bother you. You know what I'm saying? Or maliciously attack you. You know what I'm saying? And just because you down here don't mean that you don't got no bullies. You know what I'm saying? You can have bullies down here. You know what I'm saying too? And you can have bullies up there. And that's why I just say pick on somebody your own size. You know what I'm saying? Stop the bullying. No matter what, you respect people. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't got enough God in their heart to, you know what I'm saying, turn the other cheek. Everybody won't raise the same way. You know what I'm saying? Some people talk, hey, if somebody hit you, you spring on them back. You know what I'm saying? I was taught differently. I was taught, hey, you know, you do good to them that despitefully misuse you. Love those that hate you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not expecting everybody to move like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That don't mean that I won't never fight and defend myself, because I have before. You know what I'm saying? But that person had to push me and push me and push me till I didn't care no more. You know what I'm saying? Some people just don't care no more. Some people just they don't care. They ain't had so much stuff happen in their life. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't, you know, they done already lost it. You know what I'm saying? So if you bother them, they like you just they not afraid of death. Some people not afraid of death. Like it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't think you're supposed to be afraid of it because we all have a deadline. You know what I'm saying? So eventually you got to stop being scared of people. You got to stop being scared of yourself because sometimes you afraid what you might do. You know what I'm saying? To people who continually bother you. You know, and sometimes you just have. Sometimes you gotta pray for people. You know what I'm saying? Because you want somebody to pray for you. Sometimes you gotta forgive people. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be forgiven. You know, but at the same time, it, I understand now. Like you can't just do stuff to people and expect nothing back not to happen to you. You just can't throw something on somebody and expect a big old microphone pop you across your head because you did something you ain't got no business doing. You know what I'm saying? So respect people. You know, it goes back way. If you don't like somebody, leave them the hell alone. Leave them alone. I don't go around. I ain't going out my way to bother somebody. If I have an opinion, it's a saying that says, if you can't say nothing good, don't say nothing at all. You see what I'm saying? And back then there was certain rules where you left people alone. Like some things were comical, some things you laugh at. Some people can be too hard on themselves and don't know how to find the humor in things. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you do have to be resourceful and be like, hey, you could talk about me because I'm funny. I laugh at myself sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be too serious, but at the same time, you have to know what's serious and you have to know when to be serious. You know what I'm saying? So there's a time and place for every time. There's a time to joke. You know what I'm saying? There's a time to laugh. There's a time when to be serious. There's a time to fight. You know what I'm saying? So, respect people. You know what I'm saying? I don't like everybody, but I respect. I get away from people I don't like. You know what I'm saying? If I find out necessarily if it's something about you that we don't clash or we don't get along, I'm gonna go the other way. Why? Because I don't want to cause a situation. First of all, I know how I can be, and sometimes we not willing. We got blinders on our eyes. We're not willing to see ourselves. We're not willing to look in the mirror. So then I can be doing something that I don't know that I'm doing. Or bothering somebody or making somebody uncomfortable. So then I try my best. Hey, look, let me go, cause it's maybe not you. It could be me. You see what I'm saying? So I remove myself. Some people remove themselves because it's somebody else, and that may be true. You see what I'm saying? But then at the same time, I remove myself because I want to give people space. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to mess with nobody. Why? Because I don't want to be messed with. But then people still mess with you, but then that's okay because I'm strong enough to endure. I'm strong enough that people to call me a hater or people to say I'm this or say I'm that. And I had to go and pray to God, Lord, help me. Maybe it's something about me that sometimes people can see stuff about you that you can't see yourself. And it takes a real friend to really actually tell you about yourself, but you got to take that criticism sometimes and reflect. You know what I'm saying? Look at yourself to make sure, you know what I'm saying? People lovers of themselves. So people narcissistic, egotistical, they cover up a lot of stuff to try to make it like they perfect. You know what I'm saying? Make like they ain't never did nothing or they have never done anything. You know what I'm saying? And I try not to be that person. Not because I'm trying to be perfect, because I'm not. But I try to necessarily put myself in other people's shoes. Why? Because, everybody don't want to be messed with. And I'm not necessarily trying to prove to somebody that I'm big and bad. I'm not necessarily trying to prove to anybody that I'm trying to be something that I'm not. So some people can call you a butterfly. Oh, you weak, you soft, you a butterfly. No, I choose to be this way, not because I can't be a lion. Necessarily, I'm this way because, necessarily because you can't always be so impulsive. You can't always be so impatient. You know what I'm saying? To prove to somebody, yeah, I'm tough and I'm on. You know what I'm saying? and that's fine. You got a lot of people like that. Some people you gotta be like that with. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay away from people like that. Why? You know what I'm saying? Because some people about their life. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight everybody. You know what I'm saying? You can't win every fight. You know what I'm saying? There's some people just bigger and tougher than you. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that's just better than you at fighting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could be better than some people out there at certain things, but then you shouldn't be trying to test people and bother people and put people in that element to prove that you big and bad too, because somebody got your number. You see what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, like, it comes down to, okay, is it worth me? Okay, if you stepped on my shoe, I gotta kill you or something. I'm just making an example. Making an example, because it's really not about somebody stepping on your shoe. It's about the disrespect, right? And then the other person say, hey, I don't care about you. You nothing to me. So I don't owe you an apology. Sometimes you don't even want to go there with people because I know you ain't going to apologize because you don't care. You see what I'm saying? So the best thing is probably just staying away from people and walking away. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because then you saying, what, all this pettiness got to lead to somebody dying or somebody getting hurt. But then it be your own mouth sometimes. Sometimes it could be our own mouth that push us in, certain predicaments. Just because you don't like somebody or you have a disagreement or because y'all different, if something happened to somebody or like they have lost, you don't necessarily supposed to, just because you did, look, that person, somebody died. You know what I'm saying? And that person on edge. You got to be sensitive what goes on in people's lives. You know what I'm saying? We don't, as an individual and as a YouTuber, you got to be sensitive to people because you got your own life. You know what I'm saying? So just because even if I don't like somebody or I necessarily don't like them personally, don't mean I get to disrespect them or disrespect, you know what I'm saying, the type of structure or what happens in their life. You see what I'm saying? So at some extent, we all orators and we have our opinions and our perspectives about what we see, but then we also got to be, sensitive to the dead, or we got to be sensitive to people, family members. We got to be sensitive to because you got family members, right? You know what I'm saying? And it ain't like you got all the answers. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff you have to recognize you don't know. Some stuff you got to recognize you don't have the answer to. But then it's good to hear people's perspective because necessarily they could be right about something. But then just because you right how you handle it about the situation, you may have some things right about it. But then at the same time, how you handle a situation, it shows maturity. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's good to apologize. If you find out you did something wrong, hey, you know what? I'm not impenetrable to constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that and be reflective. Be like, hey, you know what? I apologize for that. Oh, my bad. I could have possibly done that. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. Forgive me. But then, everybody not going to forgive you. Everybody going to say, hey, I don't care. You can't forgive. I remember one guy told me, he was like, you can't apologize. I'm like, how you going to tell me I can't apologize if I find out I'm wrong? Because so many people used to people trying to prove that, you know what I'm saying, they tough, or trying to prove that, hey, I don't need the process. So that kind of bewilder people, and they kind of, I was like, I ain't seen nobody do that necessarily. Why? Because there ain't a lot of genuine people out there. A lot of people fake. To act like, I'm not gonna try to act like I'm tough, even though I can be tough. You see what I'm saying? You can be a butterfly and turn around and be a lion and change your whole attitude. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm finna get out of here. I want people to understand that you don't always have to retaliate. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to clap back at someone. You see what I'm saying? Just to prove that, you know what I'm saying, you can whoop their ass. You know what I'm saying? Or just to prove that, you know what I'm saying, that you can talk that same thing. You know what I'm saying? Now people can. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay in certain instances. But the whole reality is to respect people. Leave people alone. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay in my zone. Don't mean that, I may not rub somebody. You may rub somebody the wrong way. Or some with other guys be like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? It's who you are with other men. As far as other men, you are, if you're not respected by other men necessarily, then other men don't respect you. You see what I'm saying? It's because it comes down with, like, man, I don't want to deal with that boy. You know what I'm saying? Because he corny, or he, you know what I'm saying, he moved different, or he this and that. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with things like that in my life. So you have to understand yourself and understand that you may not necessarily operate the same way as somebody else, and they may not necessarily want to ride with you because you seen different or you move different. You see what I'm saying? So then how you move with other men necessarily is how they see you. If you alpha, see what God, you know what I'm saying? I don't really subscribe to that. You know what I'm saying? I just try to leave people alone and be the best and learn, and grow. You want to learn and grow and get to know people and know how to treat people. And just like on YouTube, like if you don't like somebody, you know what I'm saying, turn a channel, go to somebody you do like, or some people, they feel like they have to, you know what I'm saying, jump on your channel and give you all this, you know what I'm saying, negativity. There are some things they're authoritative that you can say, like, hey, I know everybody not necessarily going to agree with you, so then you have the right to, you know what I'm saying, say, hey, I think X, Y, and Z. Cool. But then some people, they become a troll and they disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? They do it on purpose, and that's wrong. Go to somebody you do. If you want to be a critic, okay, cool. Go, but find somebody you like. If you're gonna be a critic, do it respectfully. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about necessarily the respect that comes from it. Women need to respect women. Men need to respect men. Men need to respect women, and women need to respect men. Vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Don't be throwing nothing on nobody. Don't be throwing no drink on nobody before you get popped in the head. So, hey, y'all tell me what you think. Tell me, give me your ideas about, and then there's a lot of ideas on YouTube I ain't heard that sound great. So, I'm not the only person necessarily I know got, what I'm saying, perspectives, but, I listen to certain people, and I try to give credit back to the person if I heard something, because I'm not necessarily, there are some things that I learned personally. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that I learned through life, that teaches me, by making the wrong choices or not thinking things through. So I've learned to suffer those things and learn, hey, sometimes you become wise because you've done things that are foolish necessarily. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So sometimes it's better just to be obedient. It's just to be, but then there is another level of wisdom that comes through when life have to teach you something. You know what I'm saying? Don't let just life have to teach you, because you may come out being a vegetable, or you may come out, because you're not gonna come out unscathed. You know what I'm saying? Is something gonna happen, and you may have to live with that for the rest of your life. And some things you just want to listen to people and take it and use it, for yourself, and move through life. Whatever you can learn in life that teaches you, if it didn't kill you, it made you stronger. You know what I'm saying? So respect people, no matter who they are, no matter what level they on, no matter what they do. Give people their respect out top. That's how I am. I respect people. I give it to them out top. And I know some people say it's earned. If I ain't near you and I'm away from you, then you don't gotta earn nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't dealing with me. It was the best way to me. You know what I'm saying? But if I have to deal with you and I have to see you, even if maybe I don't like you, and there's a lot of people I won't say that I just don't like, because I have love pretty much generally for everybody, because God brought them into this world. You hear, he reign on the just as much as the unjust. There are some bad people that can do good, and there's some good people who can do bad. So, and a lot of people can do bad all by themselves. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I leave people alone, and try. Sometimes you gotta love people from a distance anyway. No matter what they think about you. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Worry about what you think about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And don't be trying to be nobody else, and can't nobody be you. So be the best you that you can be, and learn from other people and respect other people. And that's the only thing that you can do in this life. And move on. Pray for people if you can. Forgive people if you can. You know what I'm saying? And kind of move on. But be mindful and be respectful to other people. You know, don't be doing stuff to people, you know what I'm saying, that you don't have to do. If you jealous of somebody and you hate somebody, or, you know what I'm saying, you don't like somebody, you know what I'm saying, move away from it. Go to another channel. Don't go to their concert. Don't deal with them. You know what I'm saying? But don't go out your way to try to prove something to somebody just because you don't like them. Because it may not turn out the way you think it's gonna turn. It may, the Donkey Kong may hit you in the head. You know what I'm saying? Doop 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 doop. But like I said, tell me what you think. I didn't mean to go an hour, but you know what I'm saying. It is what it is. You got to say what you got to say. Peace.